This is Luke with Digital Trends, and obviously we're here at CES, and behind me is a lot of cool Samsung stuff. But what I'm interested in is some new gaming monitors. And this year we've got two new QD-OLED gaming monitors and a brand new 3D gaming monitor, which is cooler than you might think it is. So let's go check it out. So let's start with the new QD-OLED monitors, which are right behind us here. Before we get to them though, I gotta introduce this guy sitting next to me, Jacob Roach. You know him, he reviews a lot of gaming monitors on the channel, and we're gonna talk about these new monitors together. So to start off, we've got the 27-inch and the 32-inch, but these are not the first QD-OLED monitors in Samsung's lineup, obviously, so how do these sort of fit into the overall family?
Right, so last year we had the Odyssey G8, the Odyssey G9. We had reviews for both of those up, and they're all ultra wide. These are the first real attempt at 16:9 monitors from Samsung. They're sporting second gen QD-OLED tech and I guess a more traditional form factor, not those crazy ultra wides that people may not want.
Yeah, and these are the first flat QD-OLED monitors from Samsung too, which is a kind of a whole new look. I mean, they're certainly a little more approachable if the curve is not something you're used to. So that's kind of a whole different approach for Samsung. Kind of surprised to see that, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you had things like the OLED G9 that are these crazy 49-inch behemoths with these really aggressive curves and just more traditional QD-OLED experience.
I think that will hopefully mean that a lot of people will be able to access these and like get to play on them. But let's start talking about the resolution and the refresh rate, because it's obviously an important part of both these monitors and how they compare to each other.
Yeah, so the big thing is the new OLED G8. It's the first 4K, proper 4K QD-OLED monitor we've seen from Samsung or really anywhere. You know, we've had variations of 1440p in the past, be it at an ultra wide or super ultra wide 1440p. The G8 is the first 4K 32-inch QD-OLED monitor and coming at a 240 hertz refresh rate. So it's kind of what PC gamers have been asking for the past, I don't know, year and a half, really, since we first saw OLED gaming monitors.
Yeah, it's kind of like maxed out in terms of resolution, refresh rate, and the actual like panel type being OLED. You know? And then how about the 27-inch?
Yeah, and then the 27-inch, you know, it's kind of just an evolution of what we saw last year. We saw a lot of 27-inch 1440p OLED monitors with a 240 hertz refresh rate. But this year we're getting 360 hertz, so just a little faster. You know, if you're less concerned with that cinematic, high-resolution gaming experience, you want that faster, more responsive for, you know, competitive games, Overwatch, Counter-Strike, you name it, that's gonna be the monitor you want.
So not only are these flat, they also have a new stand, and they just look really, really good. Like,
yeah, I mean, last year's Odyssey design was really good as well, had that kind of silver, but they updated it, right? So it's a little bit thinner on the back. The stand has a little bit of a kind of a textured design on it now, and I think the base is a little smaller. So it's that same kind of stark silver frame that we saw in last year's Odyssey monitors, just a little bit nicer.
Yeah, and it's really thin. I mean, like, coming up next to it, even compared to some other monitors we've seen, like, it is just really thin and looks great on the table, and it has that like metal, like premium feel when you go up to reach and move it around and stuff. It just looks great.
Yeah, and something I think we should point out too is that last year we had this CoreSync lighting ring around the stand where it connected, adding a little bit of bias lighting, but they had this kind of diffused, smoky plastic layer around it, so it wasn't super bright. This year, it's still diffused, it's still, you know, smooth RGB lighting, but it's a lot brighter because they don't have that kind of smoky plastic layer around it.
One other thing we have to talk about is the anti-reflection coating on these, right?
Yeah. So that's apparently new for the two new QD-OLED monitors, so the 32-inch and the 27-inch, and also the Odyssey OLED G9. So the 49-inch super ultra wide, it has this anti-reflective coating on it. Same design, same panel, everything's the same this year, but apparently handles reflections better. We're at CES, so we can't really tell, but
yeah. And obviously you want the clarity of like not having a big, like a coating on it that's gonna like not make it feel as clear. You know, it's OLED, you don't wanna like diminish that, but you still like glare, reflections, it's a problem. So yeah, so hopefully that helps a little bit.
They still look glossy.
So that's all the new stuff, but obviously it's a Samsung QD-OLED monitor. It has a lot of the same things we've come to expect from these. I mean, runs Tizen, so you don't actually have to plug it into a PC. It comes with the remote, it can do all this stuff like that. And it comes with the chip too, right?
Yeah, new AI chip in there. So basically it's going to look at whatever you're playing and adjust your picture quality for that particular thing. So whatever game, if you're playing an RPG, playing an FPS, they're going to adjust things with this AI processor as opposed to, going in there and manually selecting it. But everything else is mostly the same.
Yeah, so the things we don't know about this, which are important, is the pricing and the availability. And the pricing is sort of the big one, right? Like how Samsung situates this next to its other monitors and other competitive monitors is really important.
Very important. I'm assuming we'll see a lot of other similar displays as we go throughout the year. And the pricing is super important, as we've seen last year with the 2023 Odyssey monitors.
All things considered right now, pretty exciting, 2 new QD-OLED monitors. But before we go, we have to go talk about this new 3D gaming monitor because it's pretty cool. So behind me is the Samsung 3D gaming monitor, and this is not really a full-fledged product. It's more of a tech demo right now, but it definitely could be a product in the future. It's pretty cool. So basically what this is a 27-inch monitor with eye tracking that can convert any game, supposedly, into 3D. At least it can trick your eye into seeing 3D without needing 3D glasses. One of the things you can even do with this monitor is actually switch between 2D and 3D. So, obviously you're not going to want to do everything on a computer in 3D. So the ability to switch between the two is pretty cool. Now, this certainly isn't the first 3D gaming monitor we've ever seen. We've seen them from companies like Acer and Lenovo before, but this might be the most convincing that I've seen in person. It feels like you don't have to sit in the exact right spot to get the feeling of 3D. And I know you're not going to really be able to see that on video at all, but trust me, it really does look convincing. It feels like certain things are closer to your eyes and certain things are further away. And it creates the feeling of 3D without glasses, which is pretty cool. And I think that's where I'm gonna land the plane today. The 3D gaming monitor, the 2 brand new QD-OLED gaming monitors. It's pretty exciting stuff, but let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.